So thank you so much for being here today out of your busy schedule to spend some time with us to learn about the educational partnership with South Coast Health and UMass Dartmouth online and continuing education. My name is Ann Berrialt, and I am the Assistant Director for Admissions with Online and Continuing Education. Along with me is my colleague Tracy Souza, an enrollment specialist. She's a key person who speaks to all prospective students and helps to share the information and answer their questions to make the right decision about pursuing education with UMass. And she works from inquiry through the application process all the way through enrollment. And you'll hear from her in a few minutes. And here representing South Coast is Beth Wellborn. She is the Employee Experience and Wellbeing Manager. And also with her, her colleague Cheryl Pontes, RN Practice Clinical Coordinator with South Coast. So we're here today for the next 30 to 40 minutes to share with you information about the educational partnership and why it was designed to support your educational goals, why as an employee and an individual you should continue your education, additional tuition assistance offered to you through South Coast as an employee, as well as an overview of who UMass Dartmouth is, specifically online and continuing education. We do refer to our department as OCE. We'll provide an overview of how we deliver our classes online, as well as the many programs that you have to choose from. And very importantly, the affordability of a UMass Dartmouth education. We will then open it up to questions and answers. And in the meantime, the chat feature is open to you if you would like to post your questions. And then at the end, we will unmute you so that we can also have a free discussion that's in a casual manner. So we're excited about the partnership with UMass and South Coast because we came together to support the educational goals of the South Coast Health. And more importantly, the educational goals of you, the South Coast employees. This partnership to help make that, more feasible, we do provide you a 10% tuition credit for those who do pursue their online education with UMass Dartmouth by enrolling in a degree program. And that 10% credit is given every time you register for a class. We have our dedicated enrollment specialists, such as Tracy, who you'll hear from in a moment, and her colleague Julie, who will be on hand to answer questions to help you make an informed decision and all the way through the admissions process. They are available remotely and they actually do pick up their phones. We have outstanding academic advisors who will also guide you as a South Coast employee through the UMass Dartmouth curriculum to help you pick your courses and to make sure that you remain on the path to achieve the goal in a time frame that fits your needs. So at this point, I would like to turn it over to, this will be Beth Wellborn, who will speak with you about tuition reimbursement as a South Coast employee, as well as the importance of career advancement.
Thank you so much, Anne, and thank you everyone for your time and joining us today. As Anne mentioned, we have been partnered with UMass Dartmouth for many, many years now, and the discount has been certainly helpful, especially when combined with our tuition reimbursement. Cheryl is also going to talk a little bit about career advancement at South Coast, and certainly all of this goes hand in hand into helping you obtain the skills for your future. So where do you get more information about tuition reimbursement? So I really wanted to start at the beginning. South Coast Central, as you all know, if you work for South Coast, is our intranet page. And it's been redesigned over the last year or so to help make things a little bit easier. You can certainly use the search functionality up at the top, but you do have these really great tabs that help guide you. So if you go to the HR and benefits tab, you're able to open up the little box below the drop down arrow and locate human resources. So once you click on that, you'll see the next slide will show you the organizational capability page. So we have pictures on that page that we do change from time to time, but you always have the ability to click on the Fiducious logo at some point on this page to take you to the page to get started. So that's really your first step, is that you do have to enroll with Fiducious. This is a new organization that we have been partnered with. And so I think we just went backwards. There we go. Thank you. So we started partnering with Fiducious. They are a national organization that helps us with our student loan and to see if we're eligible for any type of federal loan relief, as well as helping guide you through taking control of your student loan. So that is really the first step to exercising your tuition reimbursement benefits, is by enrolling with Fiducious. So you go ahead and click on one of those pictures, and that will take you right in to this web page that I have highlighted up at the top, which is southcoast.myfiducious.com/register. So it's certainly much easier to click on the photo to get started, but you can go right to that website as well. And you see the image is requesting that you create your own account. So this is going to be whatever your email that you would like to use, as well as your password. You're going to go ahead and put that in there. You see the registration code has already been completed for you. Okay. So after you go through that enrollment process, I do want to point out the other resources that are available for you. So you see the cap and gown photo with the red box shows you some educational partnerships as well as some further information. So you're going to want to click that box to learn more. And then as you scroll down your page, you will see a lot of documents and resources that are available. So I find that the Fiducious Path diagram helps to kind of give you a lay of the land of all the steps that you're going to need to go through. There's some further information in the loan relief FAQs. But one document that's really, really important that I like to point out is our policy. So the tuition and certification reimbursement policies go through and talks about control hours and maximum amount of contribution and lots of intricacies that you really want to be aware of when you're beginning your educational journey. So I get a lot of questions that are contained in that document. So I really recommend becoming familiar with what's in that document and then reaching out if you don't understand anything that is explained. And then as well, you will see a tuition reimbursement FAQ that also has lots of great information. So use the resources that are available for you to get started. So again, this is a little bit of an excerpt from the document. So what I tried to do was gather up some of the most important key takeaways and the questions that I frequently get. So after you register with Fiducious, your next step should be to discuss your educational plan with your manager so that your manager is aware that you're going to be pursuing this and they can support you. They may need to adjust your schedule, or you may want to just talk to them about your career path and how this degree or class is going to help you attain that. Goes through some more of the specifics that you have to be at a minimum of 20 control hours to be eligible for tuition reimbursement. You also have to be in good standing as an employee. You don't have to worry about UMass Dartmouth being an accredited school, but that certainly is something that you want to be considering as part of your equation, because that school that you go to is going to be on your resume forever. And so picking a school like UMass Dartmouth is a really smart move to setting you up for success. Only the tuition amount is eligible for reimbursement. So registration fees and books or lab fees or anything of that nature would not be eligible. As I mentioned, there is a tuition maximum that is by a chart. So you can take a look at that. You must use fiducious. That is the only way that you can use tuition reimbursement at Southcoast. Once you do get going, you have to complete your form within 60 days of starting. And then you're going to need to have three specific documents. So you're going to want to have the bill. So UMass Dartmouth will say it's going to be X dollar amount for this specific course. So you'll have to have the bill from them. Then you're going to have to show that you paid them. And then you will have to have proof of your grade. So they will give you a transcript and you have to meet the requirements. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of is after you complete your education, your course, you have to stay 12 months at Southcoast. So that's one of our requirements. Okay. Additionally, you will see UMass Dartmouth right there in our list of educational partnerships, and you can go ahead and click on UMass Dartmouth, and that would take you right to their page. As Anne already mentioned, their generous discount of 10% will help you with any of the classes that you are taking. And that shows you the partnership page where you can get more information. So I'd like to turn it over to Cheryl at this point to really dig into why should you continue your education and what the benefits are of doing so.
Thank you, Beth. And thank you, Anne and UMass Dartmouth, for inviting me to speak to you today. My name is Cheryl Ponce. I've been here with Southcoast for 35 years, and it has a lot of opportunity. And hand in hand with UMass Dartmouth, it makes a good career path. So one of the top things we would talk about today is the three top reasons why you should continue your education, whether you're with Southcoast or any place else. The first one is to contribute to improving your healthcare outcome, patients' healthcare outcomes. We want to have the best outcome for our patient. Number two, we're going to talk about is improving our career opportunities for you. And three is promote personal and professional growth. In the picture here, that is the actual picture of nurses that were my new to practice nurses that started here at Southcoast. With out of that picture, 4 of them have gone on to advance their career to DNPs. So our first topic we're going to talk about is contributing to improving healthcare outcomes. You'll need to develop a holistic and mindset for patients. Mindset of patients and systems while gaining new knowledge and skills that will be applied to your patient care. It is no surprise that better prepared nurses are better for the workforce and directly link better patient outcomes. BSN educated focuses educator BSN educated nurses focus on knowledge development and clinical thinking along with leadership and health promotion. For the organization, they benefit for improving improving our rates of heart failure, our pressure ulcers, medication errors, and procedural errors. Our next slide. Number 2 is improving your career opportunities, exploring potential opportunities for career advancement. There's a lot of career advancement here at Southcoast. So one of them is to advance your career. By advancing your career at Southcoast, you really need to advance your education. As Beth had spoken to, Southcoast does have a lot of opportunities so that you can financially support that education going forward. You may say right now that, you've just finished, 2 years or 4 years with your BSN and I'm like all done with school. But really now's the time to continue your education while you're in the mode of doing it. Returning to education is really hard. Right now you might think, okay, bedside nursing is where I want to be, but really in the future, there's so much opportunity out there that advancing your career gives you that potential to move around and pick and choose where you really want to be in your career, as well as if you are thinking of as you are moving away from the bedside, type of nursing positions come with greater responsibility and also greater pay rate. So that's what we really like to look at also, is not only our future education and advancing our career, but also we're always looking at further increasing in our income also. Um, so our third one is actually is personal and professional growth. We all want to have professional and personal growth. Nursing is not a job, but it is a career, and we really want to pursue that always. And we want to give our patients the best care that we can, and a lot of that comes from education. A lot of times going back to school, we learn how to do evidence-based projects, which help advance our career, and patients benefit from that. And that's how we come up with ideas, and how we treat patients is really by evidence-based projects that nurses learn how to do while they advance their career and their education. You don't have to take a full load of classes. You can just take one class a semester, one class a year if you're going on for your master's, as long as you're always continuing that upswing in your education. As my slide says here, there is no end to education. It is not that you read a book and pass an exam and finish your education. It's really a whole of the whole life of moment you are born to the moment you die. You're processing of learning. You're always learning. Even though you're on the job, you're learning something every single day. Next slide. So I want to leave you with this quote. Read information in your fields for at least 1 hour per day. This habit will eventually make you one of the most knowledgeable person in your business. Okay. So you don't really have to spend hours and hours. Just a little bit of time every day will help. And the next slide is just if you have any questions or concerns, but I think we're going to wait to the end of this presentation to do any of those. But please think about furthering your education and a partnership with UMass. Thank you. And I'm going to turn it back over to Anne and her group.
Thank you. Very, very helpful information. Thanks for sharing that. So you have so many options out there as an adult learner to pursue your education online. So why UMass Dartmouth specifically with online and continuing education? Here at UMass Dartmouth Online and Continuing Education, we focus on the 3 cornerstones that are most important to the adult learner. 1, excellence. Excellence in both academics and student support. Flexibility and convenience. The ability to pursue their education and earn the degree while managing life's responsibilities. And 3, affordability. To receive the most from their return on investment, both financially and the human time invested into their education. So at UMass Dartmouth Online, we have a dedicated department that's in place to grow, focus, and maintain online learning. We are not a program that we sprinkle classes out there online and leave it to the student to determine how they pursue earning their degree. We have a dedicated team. We know who the adult learner is, and we are mindful in how we operate, the courses that we deliver, how they are delivered, and in the format. So it's what we do. We are online educators for the adult learner. Who we serve predominantly are students and adult learners in our area, in our own backyard. Those who live on the South Coast, the South Shore, Cape, and the islands. We do have students who come across the states as well as across the seas, international, but we do find that a predominantly large population are those in our own backyard. And that's because they know that if they want to, they can hop in their car and come on campus if they wanted to seek one-on-one, face-to-face services, although it's not needed. Some like to know that they can do that if they so choose. We primarily serve transfer students Again, they are average age is 34 for our population. In the nursing and health sciences, the average age is 40. So there's a lot of like-minded individuals that you find that you're studying with. They bring their world experience into their posts, into their discussions, as well as that of the faculty. Here at UMass Dartmouth, we benefit from the resources that come as being a university, resources that we can pass along to students and faculty, all the while delivering the small school feel, both in and out of the classroom. As a smaller size college, we are able to deliver quality academic services to students where they experience a 1 to 15 student ratio in the classroom. They get to know their faculty as the faculty also get to know them. The small school feel allows them to build a relationship with their student advisors, academic support resource departments, and administrative offices. And because we're committed to online learning and because we have the resources to draw upon on both the administrative side and the academic side, our efforts have been recognized. We pride ourselves by being recognized by US News and World Report, which is a prestigious ranking board, where we are ranked at the top 25% within the US for online bachelor's programs. We rank the top 14% or number 93 in the nation for our nursing programs, and we continue to climb that ladder year over year. We are ranked number 43 in the nation by College Choice for online RN to BS programs, and we're ranked in the top 50 for the best value for PhD programs. And lastly, we are very mindful of our veterans, and we have been recognized with a gold standing for a military-friendly school that's really designed to recruit, retain, and serve our students. What I'll do now is hand it over to Tracy, who will speak to the other two cornerstones of our program, flexibility and affordability. Tracy?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So I want to speak to you about the flexibility of the online learning with UMass Dartmouth. So as you know, it's very convenient and it's flexible. Most of it is asynchronous learning. So it's an asynchronous learning format, which means that you log in and you watch a taped lecture at a time and place that's convenient for you. You won't have to worry about logging in or being on campus at a certain time and place. You know, we know you're very busy, so one day you may be logging in at midnight, the next day you might be logging in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Courses is the same full-time faculty who teaches the on-campus. So you're getting that experience with the online courses as well as if you were in the day, it'd be the same experience, same lectures. And there is a lower cost of attending online courses versus on campus. So you do have that, it's more affordable, plus you get that discount. So graduate degrees and certificates, undergraduate degrees and certificates. There are 51 different programs available for online and continuing education. I just want to remind you that you do not have to be taking a nursing or a healthcare program if you do want to take advantage of the 10% discount that is offered through Southcoast. So the undergraduate online programs in the nursing and health science, we have a bachelor's of science in nursing. So we do offer that. In this program tracks, you can do the RN to BS. So if you have an associate's degree and now you want to go back and get your BS, we have that. For students who already have their bachelor's and want to do the nursing, the master's, we have that available to you. And then if you decide that you don't even want to go for the master's, I guess it's trending to go right for your DMP. So if you have your bachelor's and you want to go right to your DMP, we do have a program available for you as well. For anybody that's in the lab, we have a lot of lab technicians, which is an associate's degree. But if you want to continue on, we have a program that is specifically designed for the working med lab technician, where they will do it at night and they do their labs and stuff like that right in the lab that they're currently working in. And then you can get a bachelor's degree in med lab science. And we do also offer a second accelerated bachelor's of science in nursing degree. So if you have a bachelor's degree in something else, and then you decide that, you know, you've had enough of that and you really, really want to become a nurse, this program is something that you would take, and you come out as an RN, bachelor's degree with an RN. So here's a variety of the bachelor's degree programs we offer here. Again, we try to specifically tailor it to the person who is very busy. So we're very, very flexible. You can attend part-time or full-time. We understand that, you know, you are the working professional. You might have other obligations. You might have family. You might be on board somewhere or whatever. So you decide what is the good amount of classes for you to take, whether it's going to be full-time or part-time. So graduate online programs, some of the nursing programs that we do offer, again, is the Masters of Science in Nursing. So if you decide to do that, we do have two different tracks. We have the, or concentrations, I should say. There is the nursing in health education track for those who want to be teaching in the nursing field. And then we have the global public health track. If you want to go right into the DMP program, we do have, you can do the DMP from your bachelor's, or if you already have your master's, we also offer a program for the postmasters to the DMP. And we do offer a CAGS program, the certificate, which is the Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, and nurse practitioner specialty. We have the adult gerontology in primary care, which allows you to treat patients that are 12 years and older. And we have the psychiatric mental health, which you can do across the lifespan of any age. So here are the other graduate degrees we offer. Again, you do get that 10% discount, even if you're going for something that is not healthcare related. So we do offer accounting. One of the ones we see a lot is the healthcare management program here, and that's for anybody that wants to be in the management side of healthcare. So you can look into that. We have nursing, we have technology management, we have public policy if you want to get involved in policy making, or if you want to be MBA, you can get that. We also have the computer science. And again, all of these classes you can do part-time or full-time. The graduate programs are between 10 and 12 courses, depending on which program you're going into, which is 30 to 36 credits. So UMass affordability. So again, we are a very affordable. It also helps with that 10% discount. You can do a flat tuition rate. So it's based on a flat rate, not on your residency. So no matter where you are in the country, you pay one fee. It doesn't matter in-state, out-of-state. That doesn't exist in the online world. And again, the rate of tuition is less than if you were going to be on campus. Their education partnership between Southcoast and the UMass Dartmouth OCE department, where you get that 10% tuition credit for employees who matriculate in an online degree or certificate program. So again, you have to be in an online degree or certificate program. This 10% tuition discount does not apply to anybody that's taking non-degree seeking or certificate seeking courses. I know that there's some out there that people just want to take that are not for credit, but that the discount that is offered does not pertain to those courses. And then Southcoast tuition assistance benefit we do offer, and the colleagues there, Cheryl, went over that information in the previous slides. So again, I am Tracy Souza. I am an enrollment specialist. I do have another colleague, Julie Anderson, who is an enrollment specialist as well. We are dedicated to you. So if you apply, you will be either assigned to myself or to Julie. We are there to walk you through the application process, make things as easy as possible for you. If you have any questions that you want to ask, or you're having trouble doing something, we are there to assist you. And we reach out to you frequently and make sure that everything is moving along nicely. In Southcoast Health, you also have Beth Wellborn and Cheryl Pontes, who is there to answer any educational assistance programs that you, questions that you may have. And I want to thank you for your time today. We are now going to move on to the question and answer portion of the information session. So please feel free to type any questions you may have in the chat box. If you do not feel like typing in the chat box, please feel free to unmute yourself and you can just have a verbal conversation with us. Anne?
Thank you. So we do have a question here, and it is pertaining to the UMass, and they would like to know how many enrollment opportunities are offered throughout the year. How often are we accepting students into programs?
That depends on the program that you are interested in. For more of the business programs, we have a spring, summer, and fall intake. Undergraduate programs are typically like that as well. Some programs only have one intake. For example, the accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, there's one intake in the fall. We do have the two different CAGS programs that we talked about. And those have two different start dates. So the mental health CAGS will start in the spring, and in the fall, the adult gerontology program will start, and it switches off. So every fall, every spring, it'll switch off. But most of the programs are offered in the fall and the spring.
Thank you. And there's a question here, if they have questions about the tuition benefits, should they contact you, Beth, or is there another department?
So we recommend that they reach out to our SEAL hotline, that stands for South Coast Employee Assistance Line. And that number is 508-973-2600. And they are the best resource, and they're very well trained in fiducious and can also connect to a fiducious representative. They would want to come to me if they have any questions about educational partnerships, discounts, the policy, those types of things. But for questions about fiducious and tuition reimbursement, the SEAL team is the best resource.
And I put that information into the chat.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Anne. I was going to do that. Thank you for beating me to it.
Yeah, no problem. There is a question if the partnership tuition credit is eligible to their children or spouses. And I can answer that. The tuition partnership is for Southcoast employees. It does not extend into families or the dependents. Okay. And it's regardless of where you work. It's as long as you are under the organization of Southcoast. And then the other question was, it has to go with back to the hospital, or as a benefit is, could you share again how long they have to be there in order to be eligible for the tuition benefits?
Yes, that's 90 days.
Nice. And then the other question, Tracy, maybe you can answer this, is about if the program requires the practicum, is it something that they could work in conjunction with Southcoast?
Yes, so some of the practicums, are in the South Coast. We actually, the nursing department does have a dedicated person to help with the practicums. I don't have their information here, but it is listed on our website. Or if you call into us, we can give you that information. So, you know, it just depends on the program again and what's happening, but we do utilize South Coast quite frequently for practicums.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And that looks like right now, those are the questions that have come forward. So with that said, we do thank you for your time. We will stop the recording now and would like to give you some information about the application.